It's gorgeous. Okay, I'm finally done with my work day. I'm gonna put this little fuzzy microphone on because it's so fancy. And actually, I can finally take this thing off. I often will wear my workout shirt underneath my clothes, or just wear my workout shirt to work because if I have it on, I'm more likely to just go to the gym and not skip out on it. Did you hear that? There's a little tip and trick for you. Okay, we're gonna make this cottage cheese ice cream. We're gonna make the fruity one that I made the other day, and it's really stinking good. So all we need is cottage cheese and some frozen fruit. I have a mixed berry, and then we need some vanilla and just a little bit of a sweetener. You can use honey, you can use maple syrup, whatever works best for you, for your goals and your plan. I'm just going to be using a monk fruit sweetener with, it has like erythritol as the carrier, like sugar alcohols or whatever. I thought I had monk fruit here and I don't. So we're going to use these stevia packets. I forgot the monk fruit at home. So we're going to use this, but it does have erythritol, stevia, and it says natural flavors. I don't know what that is, but we're going to use that. You need a blender of some sort. I only have a small bullet here at my office. So we're going to use that. It's pretty small. So when I made it the other day, I did need to cut the recipe down to more of like a single serving, and that is just fine. But just know that we're making a single serving because of my small blender. If you have a nice large blender, you can multiply this as much as you want. I dominated the single serving all by myself, so in a very short period of time. It is very easy to eat a lot of. All right, we got these cottage cheese, frozen berries, which have been melted, I should say thawed, and refrozen, and thawed, and refrozen, and so they're now all stuck together. That should be interesting. Jeez. Okay. I think we probably have enough berries loosened up in there. Cottage cheese. I do not recommend this brand only because they have a bunch of added things. There's no reason why there needs to be a big list of ingredients for cottage cheese. It really just needs to be like milk, cream, and I think that's it. But this has added things. I don't suggest it. Does it taste delicious? Yes, absolutely. Does it work for this recipe? Yes, absolutely. This massive container was on sale at my local grocery store. So that's why I bought it. But my favorite cottage cheese is actually the Daisy one because I feel like it's nice and clean and tastes good. A lot of times when you see the cottage cheese ice cream recipes, you'll see they use Good Culture. I think that's the brand. I've never actually bought that one. But my guess is it's probably less salty. Sometimes cottage cheese can be really salty and you can taste that in the cottage cheese ice cream. I actually think it's kind of a nice background flavor, especially to the fruit one that we're going to make right now. But I love cottage cheese, so I don't mind a little bit of like that salty tanginess in the background. If you don't like cottage cheese, maybe get one that is unsalted, or even like a low fat or fat-free version, which are going to have a lot less of a cheesy taste. They're going to have a less full taste, if that makes sense. But this one is a 2%. We're going to use that. So last time when I made this, I put the cottage cheese in here first, and then I put the berries in. We're not going to do it that way. We're going to put the berries in first and then the cottage cheese. And here's why. Because when I did it the other way around. The cottage cheese, because it's really thick, we're not adding really liquid besides just some vanilla extract. The cottage cheese had a hard time getting down to the blade to actually like blend up fully. And so there was little chunks of like the cottage cheese, like little whey curds in there, which is fine. I didn't mind it at all. But if you want it really nice and smooth, I think doing it this other way around will work really well. So let's try that and see how it goes. So we're going to put in like 1 cup of berries. You can use any berries that you'd like. I just have a triple berry blend here. And we're going to put in about a cup. That's about a cup. Now, if you want to measure out, I don't measure the berries. That's about a cup. I am going to measure out the cottage cheese because I am going to be tracking this. And so I'm going to put in exactly 8 ounces. So I have it on ounces here. A scale is really handy if you have one. Otherwise, just measure out like a cup. That's 4 ounces. 7 ounces. Oh, it's going to be pretty snug. But let's make it happen. That is literally 8 ounces on the nose. Oh, it went up to 801. I'm going to take a bite. Because there's only like a teeny bit left. And this just needs to be eaten. Yum. Okay. Next. Fruit is going to have natural sweetness in it, obviously. But we're going to add a little bit of sweetener to it. Because I notice with ice cream, with anything that gets frozen, it tastes less sweet when it's frozen. Or there must be something that happens with the molecules or something that causes that. So we're going to start out with 4 of these little packets. And you almost want it to taste a little... I just inhaled some of the powder. If you breathe too much or too fast around powdered sweeteners, you might cough like that. Okay, I don't know what I was saying, but there's that. Something about sweeteners. If you use like maple syrup or honey, obviously that's a liquid. You're probably going to have a better texture than like the powdered ones. So I'm going to add in a little bit of vanilla. And then this is super full. You're not supposed to fill these that full, but I did. So let's hope we don't ruin it. Here we go. Oh, I'm going to ruin the blade on this. It smells like it's burning. How do I get those down to the blade? I feel like I need liquid in there. Last time it did end up mixing up, but I did have these slightly like de-thawed. Give it a little air. Oh, it's already looking good, but it's not even close to blended. But look how pretty that is. That'd be good with like some granola topped on it. Oh, that's already amazing. Oh my gosh, yum. It's gonna be so good. Dude, I'm gonna break this little blender. My hair is crazy. I haven't touched it today. Oh gosh, you guys. I promise, it doesn't need to be this hard. It's just because I have a really bad blender. It'll work better if you have a nice blender. We're going to use the spoon. We're going to try to like get this stuff to mix up. It's going to be so good though. I mean, this is already, it's already so tasty. So you could definitely even bump up the protein in this by adding protein powder. But I would recommend not blending the protein powder in and just mixing it by hand afterwards, like just stirring it in. Because protein powder, especially if it's like an isolate, blended, like whipped with air in it, it gets kind of frothy and it kind of creates a weird texture. So while if you don't mind texture, oh my gosh, that's so good. So if you don't mind like kind of a funky texture, go ahead and add some protein powder. You will definitely need a bigger blender for that. And you might need to add a little bit of liquid to it to make it happen. Otherwise, just stir it in after you're done blending things, if that makes sense. Dude, this is going to be so good. Dude, this is going to be so good. Okay, I think that's all this thing can handle. I think I've maybe broken it. Here's where we're at with it. It's a really amazing color. This is so beautiful. And it's like pretty smooth. I mean, you're going to have some berry chunks in it if you don't have a really nice blender, but it is seriously, look how pretty that is. I love it. Okay, so this, you can put it in any container you want. This is actually, I love Pampered Chef items. No, I don't sell it, but I love the items. But this is like a freeze pan. It's specifically for like homemade ice creams and stuff. And it just helps freeze things maybe a little faster and more even, as well as thawing them. So we're going to put this whole thing in here. And it's going to be really hard not to just eat it right now because it's amazing. You totally can eat it like this. It's like the texture of like, I mean, it's super smooth. It's like a really thick smoothie. But since we're making ice cream, I'm going to put this in the freezer. Since it's, okay, so it's like 9:30 p.m. right now. And I still need to go over to the gym for a little bit. So I'm going to put this in the freezer and then I'm going to come back. And after just a little bit of gym time, we will sample it when it's nice and like partially frozen. It won't be crazy hard by that time. It'll be like just the right texture. So we're just going to smear it in there and put the lid on and put it in the freezer. And I'll see you back in like an hour and a half. But I must tell you, this is so good. It's almost better than the one that I made the other day. I made it a little more smooth. Yeah, no, this is insane. If I had like a long dog tongue, I would totally like this. Like when I eat eggs and there's yolk on the plate, I totally like the plate. Ow. That hurt my tooth. Yeah, I get excited. True story. I can't get any more out. And that breaks my heart. Okay, I'd be lying if I didn't say I've already tasted it and it's amazing. And I tried to respread it back out so it looked nice. No, it doesn't. But we're going to get a nice scoop for you. Oh, yeah, it's gorgeous. Look at that. Seriously gorgeous. And seriously so delicious. Should we make it look pretty on this plate over here? Oh, look at that. It kind of looks fancy, huh? Too bad I don't have like chocolate chips or something to like spread on top. Well, that one got a little chunky. Still looks kind of cool though. Maybe we can like assemble it. Oh, I think I just ruined it. All right, look at that. It is so gorgeous, so delicious. And if you let it freeze for longer, just know it's going to get like really hard and frosty, and you'll have to let it sit out for a few minutes. But look at that. Maybe I can turn on a light for you. Oh, that's even better. Look at that. Now you can really see it. How gorgeous is that? Mm. That is seriously so incredibly good. Yeah, you absolutely need to make this. I will put the macros on the screen. It is seriously a really great ratio of protein to everything else. And I highly, highly recommend that you try this. All right, y'all. It's time for bed. I am tired. Yum. Enjoy. Boom.